criticism, I put on Facebook something like this: appreciate the people who criticize you because they wake you up and see your inner impurities. On the other hand, people who flatter you, they are not your true friends because they flatter you so you don't see yourself, you get stuck. And there was a response, and some people were confused and wrote me on the Facebook, and their point was correct, so I said I will put on Facebook to explain more. First thing is, they were confused because most people say, if somebody criticizes me, I feel low. I rather like somebody who would encourage me and flatter me and admire me, then I can progress much better. Okay, here is the answer. There are two kinds of people in the world. Some people rely on approval of others. They rely on others to inspire them and determine their life. Somebody admires them, they feel good, they get inspired, only for a time being. Others, they get discouraged when somebody criticizes. It flares up their ego, because criticism is a means of flaring up ego, because everyone has subtle ego, and to flare it up is criticism. Nobody likes criticism. Okay. Other hand, some people are for self-improvement, and they look at minute fault of their own and magnify it. And they look at others' mountain-sized faults as nothing. And this is for self-improvement. You look at virtues of others, forgive their faults, and don't flatter your virtues because it builds ego and it reduces your spirituality, but look at your faults and work on that. So the statement I wrote, that people who criticize you are best friends, this is for people who are looking for improving themselves. They rely on themselves and they don't rely on public opinion. And if somebody criticizes you, then you can see subtle things you cannot see, because your friends see only good side of you, but your enemies or stranger can see negative side of you, and they bring up so that you can work on it. So we have to be grateful to them. On the other hand, sometimes people have habits of criticizing anyone, good or bad, and mostly they criticize somebody who is evolving. They criticize somebody is very wealthy, somebody is very powerful, politician or movie star, anyone who is celebrity, they find joy in criticizing, because, and then all those magazines, they sell very well when there is criticism, but when you admire someone, very few people notice. For spiritual growth, criticism would be a good test, because when you evolve spiritually, then you need to test how evolved you are, how you have evolved to rise above the ego. Because if somebody criticizes you and you maintain equanimity, inner balance, then you are spiritually evolved. But mostly people who are more evolved, they find that disciples and friends, they agree with them and nobody seems to question them. And this is why I encourage people to ask challenging questions, because it does two things for me. Because it makes me think on my viewpoint and find clarity. And suppose if I'm right and they're wrong, it encourages me that I'm on the right path. Okay? So criticism is always useful tool for purifying ourselves. Any question along the line? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. But for most people this may not work. Most people are growing, they need encouragement, so they should keep away from people who are very critical, because they magnify things and throw at you, and if you are not ready, you are not strong, you will be pulled down by it. So this is why in general tradition is always saying, I appreciate, I thank you, even if you don't like something. Somebody gives you a gift and it is a white lie, you don't like it, still you say you like it, you know. If you criticize, it breaks their heart. So we have to consider that aspect also. But criticism is a positive thing, and so is suffering in life. Suffering in life is a blessing in disguise. Everyone asks for happiness and success, and nobody asks hard for any kind of suffering. So this we will have in another video, that suffering is blessing in disguise. Criticism, always we have to be critical of ourselves if we want to do introspection, because if you are surrounded by people who are your friends, you don't find criticism. So you have to go in and do introspection. What did I do? How can I improve my life? Did I hurt anyone's feeling by my thoughts, speech or action? So this kind of introspection purifies us, because true purity is that it is in you all over, that purity, and you want to remove all these impurities, so you become purer, and purer mind, purer intention is necessary for spiritual evolution.